Hi, thank you for joining this little session today. I'm Kelley Kidd, Vice President of the CTA, and I'm joined here today by Heike Holthaus and Susana Martinez Blanco. They are two members of our organization who have participated during this last year in our CTA Mentoring program. And we thought that it might be nice to generate a little bit of an interview or discussion about the mentoring program from the perspective of both the mentor and the mentee, so that those who are interested in learning more about it or possibly considering participating might get to learn more about it. So with that being said, before we jump into a discussion, I'd like to give Heike and then Susana each a moment to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Heike Holthaus. I actually live in Michigan. I joined the CTA many years ago when I went to my first conference over there. I translate in the German-English language pair both directions, and I do mainly patents and technical documents. And last year, actually in 2019 already, I started branching out also to cover the cannabis industry. That pretty much covers who I am and what I do.
Thank you, Heike. Susana?
Oh, hi, my name is Susana. I'm based in a small village called Lightwater in London. I joined the Colorado Association about 2 years ago. I translate from English to Spanish, Spain, and my sector is business and startups and entrepreneurship. So I ended in translation as a change of career due to the extensive traveling and the extensive international moves. And that's who I am, basically.
Right. Thank you, Susana. Thanks for introducing yourselves, ladies. So the first thing I'd like to ask you about is just to get a general understanding of how you've met during this past year. How often, in what context, and possibly for how long, just to kind of give it an understanding of how, even though you're geographically very distant, how are you able to communicate and meet, and what type of time commitment that's been for you? Susana, I'll let you go first with this one.
So basically, when I started in the program, I was living in Denver, in Colorado. So in terms of time schedules, it was easier because we were more or less in the same country. Mm-hmm. And then I moved recently to the UK. That basically was this year in August. And that is making it a little bit more difficult. But we met, I think it was once a week, wasn't it, Heike? Like once a week via Zoom every week. Until we got the things, running and stuff. And then this last few weeks, we've been doing once every 2 weeks via Zoom as well. So we had kind of a consistent schedule to be able to follow up with questions and things that were coming up.
Okay, that's nice. Heike, do you have anything to add on to this?
Yes, actually the only thing is that in between when she did have a question or there was a follow-up or something, we just did that via email, or just something that did not require meeting up necessarily, or one of us wasn't able to keep the regular meeting time, would say, hey, is there anything pressing? And so it's always possible to move a meeting date and work flexibly together. And so if something comes up, that's usually not a problem.
Yeah, that's great. And I think it's neat that you guys felt strongly enough about the program that you wanted to keep it going even when you moved back over to London. Susana, that's great that you kept.
So yeah, I just would like to say that for me it's been very important, because when I moved to the UK, I had the temptation of giving up. Basically, what I didn't give up because of Heike and because of the program, because I thought it was such a waste of time for everybody else, and I just wanted to do it. So for me, the program has been very important, and Heike, she's been like my co-pilot. It's like racing a car. She's been sitting next to me, just riding together. It's been really, really good and really positive. So I can't say anything else that a big thank you. For the program and specifically for Heike, and she's been absolutely amazing in terms of response. So every time I had a question, she was there with regular meetings, with emails, with everything. She's been really, really, really helpful.
That's so great to hear. Would you guys set any type of goals with each other each week or every other week when you would meet, or was it more just sort of like a touch base, How's it going? Kind of check in.
We've been covering a lot of topics, so we've been working a lot, and I got a list of things that we've been doing together, and I can give you some examples if you want me to go ahead and give you the examples. So I have a few things here that I can show you. In the beginning, we were working a lot in defining the target customers, in where to find prospects, volunteering, creating a portfolio, establishing goals, just writing a marketing plan, which is my online presence, my website, my LinkedIn profile, a lot about networking, a lot about setting up rates. So I got a long list of things that we've been covering. So it's been extremely productive too. Really, really good.
So a lot of the essentials for really initially launching into the industry and getting things going on you. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing, guys. You kind of touched on this just, with what you were just telling me, but, I'd like to ask each of you from the different perspectives of being a mentee and a mentor, what have the benefits been for you over this past year? And Susana, go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, right, when you start in a new activity, like I said before, I come in like a change of career path. So you got a lot of ideas and it's all very abstract, right? You just want to do everything in 5 minutes. So for me, what the program has been adding is a structure. So organizing my day and my week in specific things to do. And that's been extremely important, a structure. Then having a specific goals to achieve, that it sounds like easy, but it's not so simple to do, right? So having goals, a structure, and specifically talking about, pandemic that we've been going through, having a connection. So I had this connection with Heike, and every time I had a problem or something, oh my God, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Oh, Heike is there. She's going to help me. She knows a lot. So it's been great having her, because these panic moments that we all have, like, oh, what am I going to do with this, the cat or wherever, it doesn't work. And Heike was always there. And of course, the amazing advice from a person who has a lot of experience. So I'm new in the area and she has a lot of experience. So the advice is priceless too. So that's for me the key points of the program.
Yeah, definitely, Susana. I know that, I think a lot of us linguists, in the industry, we know just how hard it can be launching into things. There's so much that you want to consider and cover and accomplish that it can be absolutely impossible or paralyzing sometimes to do it on your own and to know what to do next. So to hear from a veteran of the industry, some advice, some I've been there before, this is what worked for me, that can help a lot. And now Heike, that you're not new to being a mentor. So it seems that there's got to be some benefit to you for continuing with this program as a mentor. Can you talk about what benefits you've gained as a mentor?
Well, for one thing, it's always nice to be connected with other translators in the industry. And I have to say, I think for me, the biggest benefit is just to be able to share what I have learned over the years, and just to help others launch their career or further their career, wherever they may be at the moment. So I think that is that's why I experience as my biggest benefit.
Yeah. Thank you, Heike. And thank you for being a mentor. I know we're very grateful to those who are willing to share their wisdom and their experience. And I think that really does say a lot for our community of linguists that we have, that we're there to help each other. And I think that's part of being a member of the CTA, or an organization where you have people of like goals and like-mindedness. It's nice to just know that you have a community out there who's willing to help. And now for the next thing I wanted to ask you about is, actually, I know that we implemented a sort of a vetting process for the mentees. So Susana, I believe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you went through a series of questions on a questionnaire before you began the program to help you reflect and think about if you wanted to participate in it and if you thought it would be a good match for you. Can you, I guess each of you from your different perspectives, talk about if you thought that vetting process was helpful in deciding if you wanted to be committed to a mentoring program?
So from my perspective, I think it was useful because obviously when they try, I don't like to use this word like we use with when you pair a mobile phone with your car, right? It's when they pair you with somebody else, it doesn't
Yeah.
sound, yeah, you know what I mean. I think it's important because we know the same, we just work different, right? So they need to match. They need to match you with a person who is compatible with you in terms of the way you work. If you are a systematic professional, your mentor needs to be a systematic professional as well. So they need to match and see how you're going to work together. That's important. That's why the interview, I guess, was useful for the interviewer to know me as a professional. The other thing is they need to see the level of commitment as well. So you need to be committed. You can't just start working through this program with the help of a mentor and the help of a program organizer and then just give up, because everybody's investing time here and effort. So they need to see that as well. So for me, I think these are the key aspects: commitment and the way you work, and obviously the sector, because I'm coming from a business sector, and I think Heike is as well related to patents and technical. So we kind of related, if you know what I'm trying to, if I'm explaining myself properly.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Susana. How about Heike? How do you feel about how the interviewing process benefits?
Yeah, I think definitely what I can second what Susana said. It is important to kind of match personalities so that they fit. Because if the mentor is very structured and goal-driven, and the mentee is more like a free spirit, it's very difficult for them to work together because one or the other will be frustrated over time. Yeah. And also, I think it's very beneficial to filter out the fields they work in. So that, for example, let's say I work in patents and my language pair is English and German. If I were to mentor somebody that is in the exactly same field, then there may be some hesitation because of maybe competition. But if it's a completely different field, if it is different language combinations, then that hesitation doesn't need to be there. Because there is no competition, there's no conflict of interest, if you will, and I think that's very helpful.
That's a really interesting point, because I think initially might think, oh, you should match industry and language pair, but you bring a really good point to light. Yeah, that's really fascinating. Thanks for pointing that out. So I guess, to kind of wrap up this discussion between us, just kind of one other thing I wanted to ask each of you to share your thoughts on, and Heike, I'll let you share first on this one, and that is just overall for those who are watching this, considering being a part of the program, either as a mentor or as a mentee, are there any thoughts you'd like to share or any advice you'd like to give to those considering the program?
Okay, I think it is a good idea that the first session is spent to just get to know each other a little bit and to figure out where the mentee is and where they would like to be, and then set some goals accordingly together, and maybe some action steps. And then after that, what I did, I kind of put together things that I felt were important, and in what order to get important things out of the way first and then work on the details. And I felt that worked really well. And then for the mentees, just be ready to do the work, dig in and ask questions, lots of questions, and never think that anything would be silly or a stupid question or whatever, because it may be a basic question for you. And so that's basically it, just for the mentor, be there, and for the mentee, ask questions.
Yeah, thanks, Heike. How about you, Susana?
So from my perspective, I would say, obviously, if I had the mentee in front of me, I would say, don't think about it, just jump. Just go and join the program. because it's been amazing for me. And I think that opportunities only comes once, they only come once. So you need to get them. And there is a lot to learn, and it's really good. And sometimes you think that you got it and you know it, and you don't.
Mhm.
So it's a lot to learn. And another advice is, like Heike said before, just ask questions, as many as you want. Don't be shy, just go and ask the questions, and be like organized, and do your part of the deal.
Yeah, thank you, Susana. Thanks. It's really, really neat to hear from both of you on your thoughts on how it's gone and what you think about, your hopes for others participating in the program. And I thank both of you, Heike and Susana, for joining me today for this discussion and for
Sure.
your input to others, in our community. Thank you both so much, and thank you all for joining.